The official release of the final Scarlet and Violet sets will be fast upon us, with Black Bolt and White Flare releasing on July 18th. These twin sets will have their own products, including Elite Trainer boxes, booster bundles, and more. But these are two separate sets, so I feel like both of them deserve their own top 5 video. So today we're going to start with the first one, looking at Black Bolt. So we're going to, of course, we're going to look first at the art from the set, because that's like one of the most important things for collectors, and I am both collector and player, so we do want to hit that first. With that in mind, let's hit those up. There are illustration rares or special illustration rares for every single Pokemon in these sets, either in the set themselves or as a special promo product. So there is a huge variety of cards that you will probably like that maybe I didn't necessarily favor. My personal favorites of the illustration rares for Black Bolt are Bisharp and Haxorus. I really love Bisharp as a Pokemon. Really love its new evolution in Scarlet and Violet King Gambit. And then, of course, while Haxorus is not one of my favorite Pokemon, I think this art is absolutely phenomenal, and it's just looks really, really good on the card. And as for the special illustration rares, the set has a few good ones also, with Zekrom and Meloetta. Zekrom, of course, gets that big thunder thing going on, just that dark eeriness, but that power that Zekrom has is very, very present in the image. And then Meloetta is just being like a singer, and it looks awesome, and I can't wait to see this card in person. This set also boasts the latest card from Shinji Card, and we always highlight the new Shinji Card card. It is Seismitoad. Love the art from Shinji Card, and I love just the way the detail comes through on the card. The resolution on this image is not the best, so it's probably a little fuzzy on your screen, but it is absolutely a phenomenal art. And then, of course, before we get to the actual top 5 itself, we have a couple of honorable mentions. Our first honorable mention is going to be In's Plot. This is a card that is similar to a card from the tag team era that allowed you to pull 2 energy from your tag team Pokemon to another Pokemon. This is a little bit more universal. You're just putting 2 energy from your bench Pokemon to your active Pokemon. So in certain situations, if you have something like Spidops, for example, or some other Pokemon that has a way to build up energy on the bench, you're able to quickly shove it to the active spot and just take advantage of it that way. I think this card's pretty good. It hasn't seen a ton of play yet in Japan. I think it's just waiting for the right partners, or maybe a deck will get figured out with this and it'll be just really good. But the potential for this card is definitely good, especially in a format where there's a lot of onboard draw. Additionally, Prism Energy, this is a reprint of a card that has been available since the Black and White era. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides colorless energy. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is a basic Pokemon, it provides every type of energy, but provides only 1 energy at a time. So this is a rainbow energy kind of effect for basic Pokemon. This is super powerful for decks that maybe want to run a basic attacking Pokemon that has an attack that's useful to them, but doesn't quite match the typing used otherwise in the deck. If you have the Prism Energy, you can drop that down and then fill the colorless costs with whatever your deck actually runs, making Prism Energy a kind of nice card for basic tech cards. I think it's a good card, certainly worth having in your collection as a player. Now, speaking of as a player, this top 5, of course, is very player focused because we play the game. That's what matters most. For everybody else, I think you like what you like in terms of art and what you actually want to collect. So again, this top 5 is player focused. So here we have at number 5, Meloetta EX with the ability Live Debut. If you go first, this Pokemon can attack on your first turn. That is a very terrifying ability, but it exists. This means that you can attach a Pokemon TM, Pokemon tool with the TM effect on it, something like Technical Machine Evolution, and use the effect of that Technical Machine on your first turn, which could be pretty potent for a lot of decks, being able to quickly get out their evolutions, even on their first turn going first. So, wow. We also have Echoed Voice for a single Psychic Energy, which does 30 damage. And then it does more damage if you use it again. So it says during your next turn, this Pokemon's Echoed Voice attack does 80 more damage. So 110. That's not really what you're after. That Live Debut is the big thing. Echoed Voice is still, however, useful as an anti-Badoo attack. So you can, before they get a chance to Badoo you just smack them with Meloetta, knock out their Badoo before they can do anything. So Meloetta, very, very good card. Additionally, Genesect EX at number 4 has the ability Metal Signal. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 Evolution Metal Pokemon and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Then it has the attack Protect Charge for double metal and colorless, and that does 150 damage. And it says during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. So this is primarily a support Pokemon helping you find your evolution Pokemon index, whether that is your Archaludon or your Bronzong or whichever metal Pokemon it is, maybe even Skeletor GX, right? Whatever metal Pokemon it is that you really need to find in your deck, this is the guy that's going to help you get it. This means that your nest balls are superior in every way because you're able to find them. You're able to find the Genesect, and that can find everything else for you. And Genesect, obviously we've had an effect similar to this at least with Miraidon, and just seeing the consistency that gives decks that run it, that are able to find their Lightning type Pokemon for setting up. This being similar, finding evolution Pokemon for Metal, I just think this is going to absolutely see play, and it's going to be extremely valuable for the decks that would like it. At number 3, we have Zekrom EX. We have the good old Slash, does 50 damage for 2 colorless energy, and then the big attack here is Voltage Burst for double lightning and colorless, 130 plus damage. This attack does 50 more damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. This Pokemon also does 50 damage to itself. So if you are familiar with Charizard EX, this is a very similar sort of attack. You're doing that 130 base damage and then 50 more for each prize card your opponent has taken. Very straightforward there. The good thing is this is a great end of game attacker. You get that damage ramping up. With the current builds of Miraidon, this is not even that hard to power up. You're able to use the electric or a magneton or even just your electric generators and go crazy to get this guy ready to go and nuke whatever's in front of you. Zekrom, definitely a good inclusion in newer builds of Miraidon. Speaking of the eel, at number 2, we have Electric, the ability Dynamotor. Once during your turn, you may attach a basic lightning energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. And then for double lightning and colorless, we have Electric Ball, which does 50 damage. So it is worth noting, and it is worth highlighting, that it has officially been ruled that the, I believe it's Noble Victories Electric will not be standard legal because of a very slight change in the templating for the wording of Dynamotor. So the newer version of Dynamotor, you'll notice, specifies basic lightning energy. And while there isn't currently any sort of lightning energy that is non-basic, when it's not attached to a Pokemon, unfortunately, that slight difference in wording is going to make it so that the old Electric will not be legal in standard. So because it does specify that this has to be a basic energy in the templating for Scarlet and Violet era, the old Electric will not be legal in the standard format. So do be aware of that. You cannot use your older ones. You do have to have the newer Electric, or maybe even just grab the illustration rares, right? But yeah, the older one will not be legal, unfortunately. But this is an extremely good card for powering up your Pokemon in a lightning-focused deck, something like Miraidon, for example. If you played with Flaffy recently, or if you played Eels back in the day when it was originally a thing, if you've played Malamar, you know how this sort of effect works. You know there is never a time where this is not going to be at least somewhat decent. It's just a great effect, and it will see play. Finally, at number 1 for Black Bolt, we have Air Balloon. Air Balloon says the retreat cost of the Pokemon this card's attached to is 2 colorless less. This is a reprint of the card from Sword and Shield base set. It is a direct upgrade in almost every case over Rescue Board. This card is phenomenal. Absolutely going to be a staple of play. It will see play in most decks, if not, well, not all of them, but it will see play in most decks. Definitely have this in your collection. Anyway, that is going to be all from me today. This is the first of the 2 videos for the top 5s from Black Bolt and White Flare. If you are watching this the day it goes live, give it a couple days and you'll see the one for White Flare. If you're watching this a little closer to the release of the 2 sets, then they should both be visible for you and both able to be watched. So check out the recommended list. Hopefully it's over there for you. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one.